Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and got a good one for you today. I'm in Newport Beach. I'm on the island today. It's a beautiful day, but we're going to talk about a few things that nobody's talking about that affects all of us worldwide, and some crazy stuff here in California too. Before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. Please don't forget there is an email list you can sign up for. The link is below. And if you want more access to me, you can sign up on Patreon. I'm always amazed at the vacancies down here as we get into this. This is arguably one of the best vacation destinations here in Orange County. And this island is just taking a hit. So there's that. But as the weather gets better, people start to come out more and start to shop more. And it's just getting busier. But one thing that we're seeing right now is we're seeing a lot of businesses be affected by the supply chain mess. And it's not stopping. Let's start with the UK. Tesco, probably the largest grocery store in all of the UK. They got 4,000 locations. They're starting to ration certain items in the stores, mainly cooking oil. And I know some people are going to go, oh, who cares? I don't use a lot of cooking oil. There's so much stuff that is made with cooking oil, and it affects fast food, it affects restaurants, it affects just a lot of different products that are cooked out there, and they're rationing that. That's very interesting. They're also having problems sourcing vegetables, just like we're having that problem here in the States. But then I started looking into it, and I started talking to people today about what are people having problems sourcing. Big problems right now are with the automobiles. And spoke to a subscriber today who has a relative that owns a very large construction company, not just home improvements, but they do commercial construction, and so much so that they have to have dump trucks and certain tractors and certain trailers and things like that. And he had asked him, hey, heard about this guy Dan talking about how people are having problems getting parts. He goes, oh, it's funny you mentioned that. They have a dump truck, basically worthless, worth nothing right now, because the dump truck cannot get fixed. Think about that, guys. Think about the parts for trucks and that they can't get fixed. Now, Ford, one of the executives that's in the repair side of it, because as you start talking about things, people say things like, oh, you think that's bad? I'm on the repair side of it. Here's what we're experiencing. It's kind of quiet. Wow, the tide's really low out here right now. So, as the repair side, as they run into this, roadblock of not being able to get parts and things like that, what they're experiencing is trucks and cars sitting for months, not being able to fix a thing right now. And the problem with it is it's something no one's talking about. It's absolutely destroying the industry. But for the construction companies, it's making it so that they cannot get things done. Ford told me that they are having people buy newer Ford products just so they can get the parts to fix old cars. How insane is that when you think about that? So if you have a vehicle and you want to sell it now is still a good opportunity to sell it if you have something that could be available to be scrapped and be sold as for parts. Now, the other thing that we're learning is that from this executive talking about maintenance, my ex-father-in-law was a lifetime transmission man for Chevrolet, hard work and salt of the earth type of guy. This guy made money when his head was under the hood of a car. It's the only way to describe it. Very good guy, very knowledgeable, one of those guys who could hear the sound of an engine and tell you what was wrong with it, that guy. So he worked there, 30 some years doing his job. Now, these guys are starving to death right now because they're not getting paid. They're not working. They're standing around at the dealership waiting for cars to fix, and they're not making any money. Now you're thinking, well, don't they get paid an hourly wage or a salary? Nope, they get paid per vehicle. They get paid to fix cars. And these guys are absolutely freaking out. They're retiring, they're stepping down, they're quitting. So a lot of these guys don't have pensions and things like that you think that they would have. But they're just quitting the entire industry right now because what are they going to do? You know, when's it going to get better? How about the answer is we have no idea. Now, here in California, we have a huge problem with the drought. You know, they built this whole Southern California area on a big desert. And we've always had water issues. When it doesn't rain, man, do we hear about it. So now it's in one of those times that it's not raining, but they're going to start rationing water. But it's going to be a huge problem because what do you do with the new construction? What do you do with new housing tracks? What do you do with, golf courses? What do you do with parks? What do you do to, if you want to build a new community and you want to have water, I don't know what these people are going to do at all right now because I don't know how they're going to get the water. So we just heard that there's an area here in Southern California called Salton Sea, and it's the largest, lake here in the state, and it was formed in, I think, the 30s or 40s, and, it at one point was going to be a vacation destination, and then with the selenium and the different sulfur that was in the water, it made it so that it killed off all these fish in the late 80s, and it's a real problem. Well, guess what they just found there? They found lithium there, white gold. Found one of the largest deposits of lithium ever in this block of land. Now, lithium has gone up so much that it went from $17,000 a ton to almost $90 a ton right now. And, they're talking to our governor and asking him what we're going to do to capitalize on this. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with there and with Salton Sea. So if anybody has any information on that, send it out. I'd love to get some more knowledge on that and see what they're going to do, because the one thing that they're short of right now is lithium to make all these electric cars that we have to have. Now, the next thing, think about what I'm going to tell you. Our governor wants to limit the amount of electricity that people have, and they want to ration power here. Okay, that's insane. Oh, I've walked by this 1,000 times and never saw the Ronald Reagan bust. So now you've seen it with me, okay? Rationing power. You own a pizza parlor and it gets busy, and you get people that are, it's springtime right now. It's a beautiful time. People start to go to your restaurant again, and they're going to cut your power off. Who's going to decide that? Seriously, this is the type of stuff that you get here in wacky California that you don't get other places. And it's going to destroy things. It's going to kill the economy, to say the least, out here. So, somebody made a big sculpture, sand sculpture right there. It's kind of nice. The instability of everything right now, I get a kick out of, where people don't worry. You gotta worry. You gotta prepare for all this stuff. When you hear that food is going to be on short supply, another great article that I found on Medium. Check it out, guys, because it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what country you're in. The whole thing with Russia and Ukraine has hurt so many things. And now that the French election is over with, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with fuel, and if they do in fact cut off and do an embargo on Russian fuel completely. And if they do that, what else is going to happen? The supply chain that has been fixed is not fixed, because you have people that cannot get auto parts. And, oh, Dan, how does that affect me? My car runs just fine. Okay, well, the food that gets shipped to your groceries is brought by a truck. If those trucks break down and they cannot be repaired, you are doomed. We all are. And you won't have food, you won't have supplies at your stores. It's going to be something that is, it's just going to escalate out of control in a very short period of time. And nobody wants to admit that. Nobody wants to talk about that. It's the, don't worry. Shh. Talking to this contractor and hearing the story about that, that's fascinating right now, what's going on. Imagine somebody, an employee at Ford, buying a Ford truck, second truck, to have parts. That's crazyville, guys. Absolutely insane that they're doing this. So, car parts, short supply, food in short supply, fronting of products in the stores. What that is that somebody, again, wrote me about Walmart, going to a Walmart, and they just thought it was a Walmart thing where they had only one box of cereal in the front aisle of the counters and of the cereal section. And no, they just don't have the cereal. And she went to Albertsons and experienced the exact same thing. The other thing is, it's funny, Coke just announced their earnings and did really well. Had to raise their prices because of everything. They've got a huge hit because of Russia, and they're going to lose billions of dollars because of Russia, but it's not all their business. So they're going to survive that. But here's something fascinating. It's difficult to get Diet Coke in a bottle right now here in Southern California. I don't drink that stuff anymore, but isn't that amazing? Why? What's the reason for that? What's the reason for Diet Coke being shorted right now? That makes no sense right now. So, private docks that you can't walk out on, and then you'll walk down the way, and they'll have public docks that you can park on. There's also tours that you can do. See this boat right here with the red top? It's easy to point out. That's called a Duffy. It's an electric boat. It's really cool. You've got to stay under 5 knots when you go in the harbor so you don't make a big wake. And the cool thing with that is you can rent those boats. But what's nice, if you rent it for long enough, there's restaurants and things that you can go to, bars and things like that that will let you publicly dock out here. And kind of a fun day. I'll rent a boat out one day, guys, and take you out and show you that. But share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Are you experiencing this? Because the Tesco thing's a big deal. The cooking oil is big. Why cooking oil? What are we starting with that for? Bottled water's an issue. Stock up on all that stuff. Here's the thing, guys. People ask, hey, Dan, what should we stock up on? Dry goods, beans, pastas, sauces that won't expire, plenty of water, water filtration, so that if you had to have water and you had to drink water out of the tap or someplace else that was not clean, you could get it cleaned up. That's important. The different straws, different things like that are really important to have. Things that will last a long time, different canned goods, check the date and everything, dry pastas, canned meats are really important right now. And again, I've had people that tell me, I tell people to prepare for 2 months, and people say you should be 6 months or 3 years. That's your call. You can go as much as you want. I've tried to figure out what I have, and I guess I could live quite a long time with what I've got. And you have to prepare yourself for this stuff, guys. So it's nice because you see all these houses getting repaired. The economy, and you talk about the IMF, and I talked about Christine Lagarde, and I got probably 25 emails on that about her historic history and what a fantastic individual she is. But what's funny is people that don't want to fix the problem right now and relying on these governmental agencies and the Fed and everybody else, that they're going to take their time right now and wait till May to raise interest rates. I think it's a mess right now, to say the least. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. It's nice when you can go out in the public docks and walk around. They just redid this one too. This one's really nice. I love articles where they say, experts fear that we could be in a real estate bubble. They're finally starting to use that word. Well, okay, fine, use that word. You guys, it is over with. It is the beginning of the end. And you can believe that or you cannot, but we are witnessing the downturn of real estate before our eyes. And what they didn't do in 2008, 9, 10, 11, they're going to do now. And they're going to do it in a much bigger way because prices are much higher. And you can say, oh, Dan, that's nuts. It's not going to be the case. No, it's going to be the case because interest rates are going to go up worldwide right now. And you're going to have a complete banking debacle. This is a nice dock. As you can see, you've got the ferry right there. That is Newport Beach. This is Balboa Island that I'm standing on right here. But you can take the auto ferry or you can walk on it. It's cheap. And drive on it. It'll take your car across. It's nice. If you drove from here to there, it's about a 45-minute drive when you add it all up, but it seems pretty close with all the stoplights and everything. It's a long delay. Now, real estate. Here's the thing. Experts that I know, talked about them on this channel before, introduced you to these people, they have been hit up by the banks and asked again, are you ready for what's coming in May and June, which is the beginning of the foreclosure season? And these people are starting to be warned that there's going to be an influx of foreclosures. Do you have clients with money? Now, not I can afford a house payment, no, cash that can sit there and secure a credit line to go out and buy a house. That's what they're looking for right now. So if you're in that boat right now, you're in a good position. The people that have written me lately and said, we're going to buy a house no matter what. Look at the sign of the times. Look at Wells Fargo's bank today. Look at the banking industry news source that I have where they are letting go of thousands of employees right now in the mortgage space because of a changing economy. Okay, well, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't hire and fire and get rid of all these people if things were good. If they were going to do mortgages, because they're not going to do mortgages right now, guys. They're not going to do refinances right now. It's over, Johnny. It is done. I'm telling you, you're going to be able to buy commercial real estate for nickels on the dollar soon. It's going to be an absolute mess. You're going to see large investments and large investment REITs, which are the investments where they pull things together and you can buy into that. Those are having trouble right now selling in some markets. Why is that you're having these hot markets that they're not selling at right now? I don't know. That's the sheriff boat right there. If somebody rips through the harbor, he would be the first one to write them a ticket. So there's that. Now, Michael Burry, one of my favorite people to talk about. He was depicted in The Big Short by Christian Bale, and great guy, really smart guy who has predicted the housing downturns, stock downturns. He gets upset and he quits Twitter and then comes back and then quits Twitter. And I think it's the 6th time he's quit Twitter. Somebody can correct me, I'm sure, and know the right answer. But right now, Mr. Burry has quit Twitter again because no one is listening to his advice to get the hell out of the market right now, which is sad because if he did, he'd find out that Twitter just accepted Elon Musk's best and final offer. I'm telling you this, guys, negotiating 101, this will be taught in schools with how this guy handled this. Elon Musk, whether you like him or not, and again, I've ridden this guy's ass on this channel and called him a buffoon and a clown and P.T. Barnum and everything else, but the way he handled the Twitter thing is brilliant, and he's going to run Twitter, and he's going to own it within a short period of time. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be back on Twitter. Let's put it that way. Okay, share your thoughts on that one. I wonder if Michael Burry will come back, knowing that Elon Musk is going to run this place. Now, speaking of Tesla, who owns, Elon owns SpaceX also. They have a thing called Starlink, which is their internet, satellite internet in the sky. They just signed a deal with Hawaiian Airlines to supply internet once you leave the air and you're on Hawaiian Airs. That's pretty cool, okay? Because let's face it, when you go and you travel and you want your device, you're locked in a cabin for 5-6 hours, especially if you fly to Hawaii. I don't know why. I always get a kick out of people that live here and then go to Hawaii. I don't know why they do that, but it's a very popular California destination. So these people go to Hawaii, and you're going to now have internet. Well, here's the thing that they just released. They just released other places that are close, and the next one is Delta Airlines. Delta Airlines may agree to go with Starlink as well. So if they do that, you know, once he starts landing, these companies, they're going to fall like dominoes, and they're all going to sign with him, I'm sure. So again, all it gets down to is performance, and if it works, it works. If it works, great. So it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Are we in a housing bubble? You know, we talk about it enough, but Wells Fargo, are they the bank that's going to go out of business? Are they the bank that's in trouble? Is it them? Is it B of A? You know, when you have these checking accounts that can be seized if there's a downturn, do not have a lot of money in the bank. Look at all my past bail-in videos and everything else I've talked about on this channel, but look at the fact that these places could seize your bank account. Protect yourself. I love the credit unions. I love the community banks. These are places that are smaller. The depositors own the place, and you can learn the financial situation of it and get answers that you can't get at a bigger bank because you're not a big enough fish. So get your finances in order. Pay off as many bills as you can right now. But very interesting. What else will be sold? There is a rumor that because Netflix is in so much trouble right now and they've made so many wrong decisions in the last 2 years. Now you can say, Dan, how'd they make all these wrong decisions when they've got billions of dollars in sales? They have. And one of the most interesting things is that they could be a takeover candidate as well. Who would buy Netflix? Who would you want to see buy Netflix? You know, Disney's in real trouble right now because of everything they're up to. You've got different companies that would normally be a good partner for this, and right now, be interesting to see who would buy them. So, share your thoughts on all this stuff, and really want your opinion on this. I always get a kick out of this. Here's another one. The old man and woman sitting on Balboa Island. I'm gonna sit with them for you guys for a second, but you know, share your thoughts, guys, on all this stuff. I really want to know what you think. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. And I love the public docks. Guys are out here fishing. And just a beautiful spot. But one thing that's crazy is that, you know, you've got vacation rentals that are out here. Some of these places that are here, you can rent for a week at a time. You know, maybe you can get a deal. You can get one for $3,500 for the week. I've seen things as high as $7,000 for a week. Okay. Last few stories. First thing, banking. A couple good banking stories. And the banking associations around the country are very concerned with what they call master accounts for the Fed and who can have them. And the Fed is not really being clear right now with that. So there's that, which is a major concern. The other major concern is you've got fintech companies that are basically finance tech companies. The one of them's crypto oriented in the state of Wyoming, and they want FDIC insurance for their depositors for their cryptocurrency bank, and they're running into headwinds with that. Will they get it? Will they not get it? But other banks are stepping forward and saying, hey, this isn't fair that you're going to give them the insurance. And so there's that. Now the final two things are this, and they're both ridiculous. First one is Budweiser. Budweiser has entered the metaverse, and you can join the Budverse. How ridiculous is that? Now you can go to the metaverse and you can see metaverse Clydesdales. In other words, cartoon Clydesdales. Who is excited about this? What do you go to a metaverse bar and drink fake Budweiser beer? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, this is ridiculous. But Budweiser's spending a fortune on their metaverse, and you can see their Clydesdales in the metaverse. The final thing is, it is anticipated. Now think about this number, because I thought that this was shocking. Half of all parents right now support their adult children. And now you can say, okay, big deal. I give my kids money here and there and do things like that. No, the average family is giving out $1,000 to these adult kids a month. Do you do that? Who does that? Oh my God, I wish I had better parents, okay? $1,000 each, okay? I mean, that's nuts. So share your thoughts on this. Are you guys giving your kids $1,000 a month to get by on right now? Because that's Looneyville, guys, to say the least. So please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. And don't forget, the email list is below. We just had one go out last week. And if you want more access to me, there's Patreon, Onward and Upward. Got a bunch of cool announcements coming up really soon. So I will see you guys very soon. Onward and Upward.